Next, we're going to go over here to a store that is not doing well, and basically just see what they're doing wrong. And so yeah, let's go through it. So the first thing that they're not doing well, and it's quite, simple, but it creates just a bad taste in your mouth when you go to this page, is there is a broken image here in the top left corner of the screen. And so there's a broken image, it creates a broken page experience, and it's really hard when there's an error or a bug or some sort of a glitch on your store. It's almost impossible to convince people to, want to buy from you unless you have like a really good reputation. Like you're a very well-known brand. Then it might not impact you. It will still make an impact, but maybe not as much as if you're, just a random drop shipping store. So this broken image here is a big problem, and it's just the first thing on this page, guys. So as we go through it here, the next thing is this nav. It's just a messy nav. You've got very unclear, unorganized categorization, shop by recipients, necklaces and watches, home decor, apparel. First of all, these are completely different products. Like you could have a home decor store, you could have an apparel store, but to have one website where you're selling all of these different product categories, it's just messy. It's a little bit unorganized. Having 2 or 3 words per navigation item, also feels overwhelming. It's bloated on the actual page, just not good. And also there's one navigation item here in Spanish, so you've got a mixture of Spanish and English. If you're going to have a multi-language store, you can use an app to perform, a universal translation on the page, as opposed to just like having one specific nav item in any particular language. So definitely just another thing here to call out. The nav is messy. It's got different languages on it, which is going to definitely throw some people off. And then lastly, Christmas collection. Again, there's not really a consistency here in terms of the nav items, which just feels, it definitely makes you feel a little bit off as you're shopping on this website. Another thing to note here is, again, just kind of what I mentioned earlier with the theme. This is a default Shopify theme. It's got default icons here. A lot of people are going to be used to the default Shopify theme. And in a lot of people's heads, it's become synonymous with, cheap drop shipping stores. So you definitely want to be using, at least another free theme. Ideally, you would shell out the $100 or $200 to purchase a legitimate theme, like a professional theme, but at least use a non-default free theme for your store. So going on here, we've got just kind of a weird vendor name, Shiny On Fulfillment. To me that just feels off. It just doesn't feel like legit to me when I hear something like that on a product page. It just doesn't make me trust this store. The product name is fine. It would be nice if it had a little bit more of a brand to it, but to my husband, that's clearly on the product image here, Cuban link necklace. I think this product title is fine, but the next thing here is there are no product reviews. So guys, like I mentioned earlier, you need to have social proof. You need to have reviews for your products on your store. People aren't going to trust you. They're not going to feel like you're a reputable vendor if you don't have these things. Tell me the last time that you went to Amazon.com and purchased a product there that had 0 reviews, and I bet you probably aren't going to have that sort of experience in your background, because you just don't do it. You don't buy something when you have no reviews on the product. So yeah, definitely there needs to be reviews for this product. That's just a must. So yeah, scrolling down, we've also got a couple of issues here with the options. So the first thing is we've got inconsistent option names, right? The first thing here is this option is title. So it just feels incomplete. It feels like the title was put as the option name, as kind of like a placeholder. It just, definitely feels off. I think it would be like metal or something, just based on what these options are. So that's just a bit inconsistent with the actual options here. Feels a bit off, feels strange. And then the next thing is box choice. And so you've got standard box and you've got luxury box. The problem here is that it's none of these product images here actually show you what box choices there are. And so yeah, I mean, it's just kind of confusing, right? And so that kind of takes me to my central problem with this product page and these options in particular, is that there's just too many options. These are honestly unnecessary. The more options that you give somebody, the more decisions they have to make, the more difficult it is for that person to purchase something from you at the end of the day. You want to make it a really just fast decision for them to purchase something from you. And so personally, what I would recommend would be just get rid of the box choice option entirely. It's unnecessary. It's a different type of box, but I don't really think that really is necessary at the end of the day to get sales, especially for a store that isn't getting any sales. An upsell on the type of box for the product isn't going to make the difference here. And then secondly, what I would do here is just simply remove this as an option. I would just create a separate product for the stainless steel version and the yellow gold finish version, just to completely eliminate that decision in the head of the purchaser, of the customer. And so you could run two different ad sets simultaneously, one with the stainless steel, one with the yellow gold finish, and so have the product images that match and that reflect the actual metal that you're advertising, and just be done with it, right? And so now you've simplified the decision-making process for the customer by getting rid of those options and only making them choose the quantity, and ultimately only making them make the decision on whether they want to purchase it or not. That will just make your conversion rates jump significantly. Some of the only cases where it might make sense to give options would be, perhaps color. Like, let's say you're selling a t-shirt with 5 different color options, it might make sense then. And of course, sizing on clothing items and things of that nature. You're going to want to give people options, but in this case, it's just unnecessary. It creates friction in the buying process. So yeah, those are some more issues with this page. And as we scroll down, we've got 2 more issues. The first one is going to be paragraphs in the description. This is just a big wall of text. I guarantee you, absolutely nobody is going to read this. People just aren't going to read it. People's attention spans are really short, especially if you're advertising on a platform like TikTok. People aren't going to read this. Don't do it. And on the left-hand side, just to simplify this page, this could really just be a carousel, like a product image gallery. And it creates a bloated feel on the page. You don't really know where you should focus your eyes. You've got images here on the left, you've got other images on the right, you've got a paragraph here, you've got a big image here. This is just very bloated. It's very difficult to look at this page visually because you just don't know what to look at. So the information hierarchy on this page is poor. As we scroll down, we've got, basically exactly what you don't want to do when it comes to the product specifications, which is just like 4 or 5 different bullet points of the product, information like the width, the weight, etc. Stuff these under, toggleable fields, guys. Don't just throw it onto the page, just anywhere. If people are curious about this stuff, they can click through, these sort of specification items to get that information, but the reality is that a lot of people aren't going to care about it, and it's just something that they'll glaze through without really considering. So don't do this. If you're going to put this information, put it on collapsible fields. One thing to note that it is good is the image here, right? So you've got a guy, he's wearing the necklace, and then you've got this other image here, which is just another product image. I mean, these are good to put in the product description, right? This is a good thing. What I would personally recommend is to, use this as the main image for the product, because, people sell to people generally really well. And this just looks kind of like a template-y type of thing here. So I would move the image of this guy here with the actual chain on his neck. I would move it to the main product image, and I would also zoom in on the product itself. It's kind of hard to see what you're selling. My first thought when I see this image is that you're selling the glasses. So yeah, you're definitely going to want to do more than just put the image here, but it is a good thing to have it on the page. Now, as we scroll down, you've got another picture here with another guy with the chain on him, and you've got some product information like the inches and the ounces of the product. So this is also a good thing, but what I would say is missing here is really GIFs or user-generated content. That content sells, and this feels very stocky, like a stock photo. So I would definitely add some UGC here. Find some person's TikTok account, reach out to them, say, hey, I want you to make a video with this product. You can keep it. I'll pay you $100, $200 to do the video, and that sells a lot better than just images like this, or even just flat still images like this. Get some actual video content to put on your product descriptions. So this is good, right? So this is kind of what I was mentioning earlier with the collapsible product specification menu. Now the only issue here is that it's kind of duplicate, right? So you've got the same thing up here, the same information here that you would expect to have here. So it's just duplicate, and it's not necessary. Pick one or the other. Really, you should just pick this one and get rid of the other one. So that's what's wrong there. And then as we scroll further down, this is a big one, guys. So never do this ever. If you're running advertisements and you are running an advertisement on a page that has default starter page content like this, you're going to completely run an unprofitable campaign. You're going to be just burning money for no reason, because as soon as somebody sees this section on your page, they're immediately going to bounce. This is just a completely unprofessional look and feel for an e-commerce store. Image with text, right? Like, people are going to see this and they're going to leave your store. And it really isn't difficult to just like remove this section from your store, or to just like fill it with content. So yeah, don't do this, for sure. Don't do this. This is also, I mean, this is fine. You've got a free shipping header and a hassle-free exchanges header. These are good. These do reduce friction in the buying experience. Now, the issue is if you look at the text underneath, it's more default language for the store. Not a good thing to do, guys. And in reality, people probably aren't going to read this anyways because it's just wordy. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to put a paragraph on your page, you better make sure it's not just some default language. As we scroll down, this seems to be, an image issue with my browser. It seems like the image didn't fully load when I took the screenshot. This isn't just like a broken image on the page, but they are doing a good job in terms of doing cross sells here. I guess the only issue that I could see with it is it's kind of buried at the bottom of the page, which a lot of people may not scroll down to. But yeah, I mean, generally, it's not a bad thing to do a cross sale in this sort of scenario. It's just that another thing here is that these are all essentially the same products, just a different kind of background from what I can tell. So, maybe some variety, maybe different colors, something to stand out. But yeah, so overall, not bad. And then the last thing here is empty reviews. I mean, this is just gonna kill your conversion rates. Add reviews onto your store. Add reviews for every single product that you're running advertisements to. You need reviews in order to sell effectively. There's tons of apps available that you can use to get reviews onto your store. I mean, take the time to write your own reviews for the products, guys. Like, if you have to do that. I think this app, or this product in particular, was sourced from AliExpress. I'm not too sure, but you definitely can just go to the AliExpress listing for the product, and you can take the reviews from that listing and put it onto the store. Do something. If you're going to be running advertisements, if you're going to be promoting a product on social media, you need reviews to sell it. It's really that simple. And other things, so again, I kind of touched on this earlier, but there's no social content on this page. And that's kind of what I was referring to with the lack of UGC. The pictures here, the images of the product, they look like they're stock photos. They don't look like they're real people necessarily, that are utilizing, or that are like customers that have purchased the product that are using it. It just looks like stock photography, pictures of the product. I mean, this one, it just looks photoshopped. This looks like a stock photo that the necklace was photoshopped on top of. So there needs to be some actual social content here. And then there's no videos, there's no GIFs, there's no animations. It's just a bunch of images and text on this page. So, you need to have really engaging content, especially if you're running, like a Facebook ad or a TikTok ad. The content needs to be engaging. It's one thing if you're like, let's say you have a YouTube channel and you're selling your own brand's merch. Then maybe you can get away with just having images of the merch, because people already know you, people want to support you, people trust you. But in this case, this store in particular is running advertisements to get people to the store, and they're not getting any sales, and it's because they don't have engaging content. This page doesn't look good, and overall, just all of these things that I listed off here. And so yeah, this was an analysis of two different Shopify stores, two different product pages, one that's doing really well and one that is just not doing well at all. And you're going to, if you like this video, please leave a like, share this video with people that you think will find it useful, and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought about this analysis. If you have any questions or need any help with your Shopify store, leave a comment and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.